What I'd like you to watch on this horse while I'm working it is watch its mouth. It has a habit of gabbing its mouth like a colt. And I'm transitioning it to this, working this cricket instead of gapping at the mouth. But when it gets under duress, it turns its tongue inside out basically and gaps at the mouth. All I've been trying to tell it is, this is no big deal, live with it. That's all I've been saying. Now here's an example. This horse stood dead still. Okay, don't get on them when they're doing this. Make them move their feet before you get on them. Because to me it's a brace. They're standing there and that's all wonderful, and I know I contradict myself, but you got to understand there's a difference between standing and standing. They're standing comfortable, or at least putting up with things, and they're standing braced. And a braced horse standing dead still and you get on and they rear up and your weight goes backwards, and if you're not smart enough to let go, you just tip them right over on you. So I just assume they moved with this same deal going on, and I can see that they're going to be able to move. Now, like all of them, this horse doesn't like this. I don't care. It's part of it. It's going to get a lot more of it. There's a lot of theatrics involved in this horse. I'm not impressed. I don't like to use that saying, this isn't my first rodeo. I think that's a dumb thing to say when you're riding horses. I've been to 2 county fairs and 3 Brandons, so I have been around. And for me personally, my rodeo career wasn't nothing to brag about. Here we are again, dead center. So this horse, as you can tell, is very forward. In other words, you get outside, this is a circle horse. You can go a really long ways in a really nice fast walk. The bad news is it doesn't know anything about slowing down and taking it easy. When you get on, it expects to go a really long ways, and that's all there is to it. You know, I had to fix that before I got carried away because the horse just was braced. Now, this is the horse moving its feet. I can't watch its mouth except for the shadow, but I can hear the cricket. And I like to keep an eye on their shadow. It kind of lets me know where they're at. And over time, everything equals out. It's just a matter of time. You can't train these horses, but you can outlast them. Now I'm going to touch it while it's moving. Touch it while it's moving. Touch it while it's moving. It doesn't like that. Now I've talked about separation. In other words, that's a polo mallet. Okay, then on the ground you use a flag to load them in the trailer. What I don't like to do is teach them to turn around with the flag. Putting the flag in their eye to teach them to turn, because it looks really cool, but it's counterproductive for me. I don't want them to be spooking from that flag in their face, in their eyes. So if I was to really get after that eye to get it to turn, Now you take an old spoil horse, some old 15-year-old gelding that's just as dull as a rock, well then all bets are off. You do whatever you want. But horse like this, I just soon get it turning off my body. Now I'll have it come to the center and just stand. Same thing, this horse been around it. Flag and tarp on the ground, no big deal. I'm just going to reiterate to it what we're going in, what's going to happen, where we're headed. I'm not going to sneak around it and hope to like hell it stands. That isn't how this works. If you don't have any confidence in what you're doing, don't do it because you're going to fail. Okay, here it is. That's where the tarp is, horse. I already know that's covering my right side, my right leg. I already know that. Well, that's all part of it. I've rode this horse a long way, so I'm kind of getting to know it. And it's kind of getting to know me. It doesn't care much for me, but it's putting up with me. But I didn't get the horse so it could be my friend. I got the horse so I could get it nice for the lady that owns it. Now the thing I like is I'm getting a hint of collection, and it tickles me. Because typically this horse's deal is if it doesn't like something, its head would go upside down. Still got that brace in the right eye, the right side of the neck, so I'm going to drop that rein on the inside and set that head and have that horse's head come to me like that. Thank you. Now standing still. If you stand up in your stirrups and flop a tarp in front of a horse's face, you deserve to get exactly what you get. That's something you don't do. Stay behind the eye. If they run off, you can shut them down. Think, horse. So what I'm going to do is get out of this horse's way and offer it a chance to get in the trailer. This horse is the one that chose not to get in simply because it chose not to get in. The other one didn't know how to get in. There's your first clue right there. Okay. I am going to say, go ahead and get in. I've been riding this horse for a couple months. And she gets to decide. Already, don't ever kid yourself to think that you need him to understand. This horse, as soon as I walked around the corner, knew it was supposed to get in the trailer. It already knows it. It's contemplating sin or win. Your choice, partner, because I don't care. Think. I'm going to turn the heat up on this horse. And what it did was made a really wise choice. Now, I've already told myself when I get out of this trailer, I want to be careful. The floor is slick from the manure. The horse is not happy. So if we were on our way to group, it'd be fine, but we're not. We're just unloading here at the place. My hands go up because I do not want to get run over. I'm stopping the horse and telling it, you need to think. You need to think. You still need to think. I'm going to slow it down. Manually slow it down. Now watch the horse. Watch what it does. There. You're fine. So, here we go again. Get in the trailer. What you're watching isn't fear. It's just a horse that didn't want to get in the trailer. Now the horse is going to get out. I'm going to turn it around and ask it to get back in. Now I'm going to turn it around, raise my hand above my belt, and ask it to get in. Now I can tell by the way it got in the trailer that it's starting to come down. It's coming back to earth. It's going to make it. How do I know? Because I know. Now I'm going to lead it in the trailer. That's how this originally started the other day. I think the reason horses stand around like they do when I do this is because I don't really pay much attention to them.
I really like the fact that you don't rush them.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's a big deal. Because you pressure them up. Now, this is the reality, because I don't drive them into stock trailers. I just go in the stock trailers because I'm going to tie them in the corner. So now I'm just going to get in. Horse joins me. Put the rope around. It goes to the corner. Now, I'd like you to notice how I tie my horses off. I don't tie the horse next to their head. I tie the horse so that I can get to it if I'm outside or if I'm back here. Tying a horse right here hard to the trailer is a big mistake. It'll get you hurt bad. Well, people have dividers now. They've got cushioned compartments. They have air conditioning, water buckets, whatever. And it makes it kind of hard to do things without getting in a wreck. I'm sure you all saw the horse that jumped out the window because the guy thought it was so cool to have them go down the road with their head out. Well, this hillbilly trailer is safer than any trailer I've seen. We just don't have the tilt out. So now there's no doubt in their mind the place to be. That was my point. I never ever want to hurry them getting out. Because I'm sure anybody that's hauled over a mile knows that if you put 3 horses in a trailer, and when you open up the back, every one of them has crapped. So the floor is slick. So you really want to be careful. Then you got the winter conditions, which we know nothing of, but if you happen to live where you're not supposed to be living and you have snow and ice and rain and all that, it's going to be slick on the floor. Thank you.